Do you use pornography as a way to escape your current life? I've spoken with thousands of men that are struggling with pornography addiction over the last 5 years. And not a single one of these men struggle to run to porn when things are going incredibly great in their life. There's not a guy walking this earth right now that is caught up in a pornography addiction that uses pornography when he's feeling accomplished, fulfilled, successful, intimate, connected, and in the present moment. Every single man that is struggling with a pornography addiction uses porn as a way to escape the current reality, as a way to escape the situation that he's confronted with. Now, there can be different reasons as to why we're trying to escape. There can be different feelings that we're struggling with: aloneness, isolation, rejection, unworthiness, lack of fulfillment, hopelessness. All of these create internal feelings and internal situations that men need to escape from. And porn for these men became a very early adopter for them. It became a very early way for them to suppress these feelings, for them to chase an immediate dopamine hit and lose whatever it is that they were struggling with for the short term. Now, if you're watching and listening to this right now, you know that the pleasure is just short term. The feelings of unworthiness, the feelings of hopelessness, the feelings of rejection come immediately back and oftentimes begin to compound. And that's what creates this cycle that we fall into. That's what creates this cycle that keeps us trapped and enslaved, because the only thing we know to make us feel good when we're feeling down is the use of pornography. But then we realize that it makes us feel even worse. So what if we had a life that we didn't want to escape from? What if we no longer use pornography as a way to cope and run from our feelings? How would we be able to do that? What would that look like? Well, I think it starts with having a clear vision on a life that we can live without pornography. It's interesting. I was just having a conversation recently with a gentleman that has been struggling for 6-7 years with trying to break through. He's seen therapists, he's seen hypnotherapists, he's trying to work on his fitness, he's trying to work on his development. And I asked him, what do you think would be possible if you got your fitness under control, if you were able to build the body that you're proud of, and if you were able to stop watching porn? What do you think would be possible for you? And it's like the look on his face was something like he had seen a ghost. He had never thought about what his life would be if he was able to get porn out of it. And it flabbergasted me. I was like, how does somebody try to overcome an addiction when they don't know what their life could be like without it? So what I want to share with you here is a 5-step process to help you get clear on what your life can be without pornography, to get clear on building a life that you don't need to escape from. 5 steps. 5 steps. And if you want this in a packaged training, we actually have this available for free. If you visit rebuiltrecovery.com/vision, you can opt in, put your email address in, and you will get access to this training immediately with worksheets, with spreadsheets, with everything designed and laid out for you to get radically clear on a life without pornography, one that you no longer want to escape from. Okay, so here are the 5 steps. The first step in this process is you have to fast. You have to go on a 48-hour fast for a multitude of reasons. One, you're struggling with porn. You lack self-control. You're struggling with porn. You lack the ability to deny yourself. You're struggling with porn. You don't know how to say no. I want you to test yourself right now. I want you to learn some discipline, some self-control, and this will play a fundamental part in the rest of these steps. Now, fasting for 2 days creates some amazing physiological changes inside of our body. We begin to seek a higher level of awareness. BDNF is activated within our brain-derived neurotrophic factor. This is a state that our brain and mind gets into that is incredibly created, incredibly connected. Spiritually, we get closer to God when we go on a fast. So you start this practice out by going on a 2-day, 48-hour fast from food. You can have water, have a little bit of black coffee if you need it. If you get really uncomfortable, bone broth can be okay, but I recommend trying to do this with just water and minimal caffeine. Now, the next step is once you hit that 2-day mark before you break the fast. So you want to complete these next 4 steps prior to ingesting any food into your mouth. So while still in a fasted state, I want you to think about a 5-year vision for yourself. Now, think about this in terms of where is pornography most negatively impacting your life right now? Where is pornography holding you back in your faith, in your fitness, in your finances, in your relationships with others, in your service, in your work, in every area of your life? Porn's negative impact. Think about, if I were to be free, how does that change? How does my life improve if I'm able to get this destructive habit out of my life? And here's the more important question that we have to ask ourselves in this stage of this assignment is not just what do I want, what can I accomplish, but who must I become? Okay, so if porn is having a negative impact on my mental health, it's affecting the way that I see myself, it's affecting the thoughts that I have, it's affecting my overall outlook on life. If I go 5 years without pornography, how can that change? How will I see myself differently? How will I see others? How will my thoughts change? Okay, so that's the goal, that's the target, that's the aim. But who do I need to become? If I think differently, how do I become differently? If I accomplish my physical goals, who must I become? How must my day-to-day habits change? How must my routines, how must my thought patterns change? So we set the target 5 years out into the future, but then we ask ourselves, who do I have to become in this process? And that's going to reveal a lot of work that needs to be done in and on us. So we start, boom, 2-day fast, 48 hours without food. The first step here is to go 5 years out into the future, cast a big, big vision for the man that we become. Step 3 is to bring that a little bit closer to home. So now we want to go 1 year from today. So if we are going to be on target for accomplishing things that we want to accomplish in 5 years, where does this need to be at in 1 year's time? So if I want to add 20 pounds of muscle in the next 5 years and lose 10% body fat, where do I need to be 1 year from now to make that achievable? If I want to have financial security, if I want to have a certain amount of money in the savings account, if I want to purchase a home 5 years from now, where does my finances need to be 1 year from now? And we go through the same process. We set the goal, we set the target, then we ask ourselves, who do I have to become? Where is there a gap right now in me, in that person? And ask yourselves these questions. So we go 5 years, we go 1 year. Step 4 now is to bring it even closer to home. I want you to set some 90-day tangible goals. Set a goal in your fitness. What can you accomplish in 90 days? Set a goal financially. What can you accomplish in 90 days? Set a goal with your relationships. What can you accomplish in 90 days? Set a goal with your community. What can you accomplish in 90 days? Set a goal with your hobby. What can you accomplish in 90 days? So we fasted for 2 days. We went 5 years out, casted a big, big vision. Maybe we put it up on a vision board so we know what our life will look like. We bring it closer to home and go 1 year now. And then we set some tangible, specific 90-day goals that we can begin to work towards on a daily basis. And here's the next one. This one is the one that scares most men, and this may be the most powerful one. Step number 5 is you envision your life 5 years from now still stuck in pornography. You envision your life if you never get control of this. So now we have something that we're running towards, right? We've painted a very clear, beautiful picture of this dream life, this ideal version of ourselves. Now we have the version of hell, right? So we have a heaven that we're running to. We have a hell that we're trying to avoid. Now, the most important question or the most important part of this now arises, right, is in those moments of triggers, urges, stressful moments, trying to escape, the thought of porn would be good right now. We need to think about this vision, okay? We need to think about this life that we're trying to create, the one that we don't want to escape from, and we need to envision what happens if we stay stuck. So the 5 steps here, clearly laid out for you. Like I said, if you want to go a little bit deeper into a full training here, rebuiltrecovery.com/vision, okay? But without a clear vision of your life that you don't escape from, you will continue to escape from the current reality. And that's what we have to understand, gentlemen. So I hope today's episode was helpful. I hope it was valuable. Make sure to rate, review, subscribe if you're watching this on YouTube, guys. Check out the free training, rebuiltrecovery.com/vision. But your host, Coach Frank, founder of Rebuilt Recovery, host of The Rebuilt Man. We love you guys. And we'll see you in the next one.